Previously, in the case of the missing key, Detective Hawkshaw Holly Harker uncovered churro dust, swishes, and strange laughter. The golden storybook key vanished, followed by the Mark Twain whistle and Tom Sawyer's spyglass. Now her trail has led her to Tom Sawyer's Island, where the case will finally be solved. The raft bumped against the dock. Holly stepped off with determination, her oversized green hat bobbing. She turned to the raft operator. "I'll have questions for you later," she said firmly, notebook snapping open, "and now I've got clues to follow." At the Pirates' Cove, a Disney vlogger strutted about, his fedora glistening in the sun, his half-unbuttoned shirt swooshed with every step, and his camera clicked away. Churro dust clung to the strap of his bag. Click, click, swoosh, swoosh, and churro dust again? Holly muttered, writing furiously. She nibbled on some caramel corn. Sweet, crunchy, decent, but I've had better. 3.2 out of 5. A visitor flagged her down. "Detective, I heard gurgling mouthwash right over there." Mouthwash tapped in her chin, scribbling, clue, gurgling. She pulled out a corn dog from her vest, bit down with a loud crunch, and sighed with delight. Warm, golden, delicious, 4 out of 5 stars. A guest asked, "Where did you get that from?" "Oh, I always keep a spare or two," Holly said, handing one over from her pocket. On the side path, sunlight glinted on the dirt. Holly crouched low. Glitter sparkled everywhere. She looked up sharply. Glitter dust, the blogger's hat. Memory flashed. Glitter was on the boy's toy sword, and glitter was on the custodian's broom. "Glitter ties them all together," she whispered, underlining it in her notebook. She popped a goofy sour ball in her mouth, puckered, and then grinned. Sweet, sour, perfect match. 5 out of 5 stars. Back at the dock, Holly turned to the raft operator. "All 3 of them rowed across today, didn't they?" The operator noted. "Custodian, boy, vlogger. All of them came here." Holly narrowed eyes. "Good. Gather them. Meet me at the top of the adventure tree. This ends now." The crowd pressed close. The suspect stood beneath the branches, the custodian's broom across his chest, still scowling. The boy, lightsaber buzzing, black hat shadowing his grin, and the vlogger, camera dangling, glitter sparkling on his fedora. Holly paced back and forth, and then, notebook in hand, voice ringing out, "Each of you has motive, means, and opportunity." The custodian, angry and tired of the mess. The boy is mischievous, with swishes and shadows to spare. And the vlogger, hungry for views, swishes and clicks and glitter. The suspect shifted nervously. The crowd held its breath. Holly stopped, snapped her notebook shut. She stared at each one down and then lifted her hand. "The culprit is..." Then she spun and pointed upward. "That raven's, that's been following us all along." The crowd gasped. In the adventure tree's crowd nest sat a black raven. Feathers glinting, eyes bright. In its beak was a golden storybook key, and in its nest lay the missing whistle, the spyglass, and tiny wrappers dusted with sugar. "Caw, caw, caw!" the raven cacked. Holly turned to the cast member. "You'll find all the missing items up there in the nest." She rubbed her hands together and grinned. "And now I have reservations at the Blue Bayou." The crowd burst into applause. "Ah, yeah!" Holly tipped her hat, popped one last sour ball into her mouth, strode off as the sun dipped low over the park. And so, the case of the missing key has been solved. Not by broom, lightsaber, or camera, but by a raven with a love of shiny things. But Hawkshaw Holly Harker knows that in the park full of magic, the next mystery is always just around the corner. Join us next Sunday for another adventure of snacks and secrets.